All music was once new, and all art was once new as well. The 55th annual Rockport Art Fest is coming up July 4th weekend, and today I'm speaking with one of 120 artists whose work will be available there. I welcome Jay Ybarra. Welcome, Jay. So glad to be talking to you.
Thank you for calling. Thank you. Good afternoon. How are y'all?
We're good. Hey, you're returning to the Rockport Art Fest. Congrats on being chosen again, because I want our listeners to know this is called a juried event, meaning that every single artist was selected by master artists. So that's nice affirmation, isn't it, Jay?
Such nice affirmation to be picked amongst the best of the best. Last year was my first time at the art show, and it was just great. It was great to be amongst such talented artists and to know that I still got a lot of work to do, and it's very, very inspiring.
I looked at some of your websites, and you teach art, you teach music at your Art Life Center. You seem driven to make multiple art forms accessible to others, and I really admire that.
Thank you. I came up with the name The Art Life because it occurred to me one day that from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to sleep, that's what I'm doing, The Art Life. It brings me home. It brings peace. It brings connections. It brings a oneness. I mean, in such a fast-moving world, it's like it slows everything down for me, and I just enjoy it. I enjoy it. I'm very blessed and very fortunate every day to express my art.
And I know that what you'll have on exhibit at the Art Fest is visual art, but I see that you teach multiple instruments. I just think it's so important, the work you're doing, to try to show others that whether they want to play an instrument or learn an art form of any kind, that it's never too late to start.
Never too late. I was 32 when I first started. When I first picked up the guitar, I was 32 at the request of my children, and 4 years later I was performing and was able to perform off of music for about 20 years, and about 10 years ago I first started painting. So it's never too late. It is quite literally never too late.
That's a great testimony that art is always accessible. I've looked at your art online, and it's just gorgeous. Tell our listeners what subjects you gravitate towards.
I gravitate towards a lot of the water coastal subjects, the marine life, sea life, seascapes, sunsets, sunrises, anything water. I grew up in the Galveston area, and so water is very, very important to me. And the idea that I get to participate in the Rockport Art Show, which is gorgeous water, gorgeous atmosphere, gorgeous everything, it's just really a dream come true to be able to be part of that.
Well, it might not be something that you're exhibiting at the Rockport Art Fest, but I saw something on your website about live wedding paintings with the guests and even the bride and groom participating in making a painting of the event. Just tell our listeners briefly about that. And I hope, Jay, if you're not exhibiting anything, any example of that, I hope you at least have a flyer out, because this is a fascinating topic.
Definitely, I can bring that. It's an extremely unique gift. So what I would do is I go and I talk to the bride and groom, and I ask them what scene is it that they want immortalized, and then so I'll paint that scene right then and there at their reception. And as I'm painting, it's inevitable that people come up to me and say, well, what is he painting? And as they come up to me, I'll give them some paint strokes or paint brushes and paints and everything, and I'll have them paint on the painting. So at the end, everybody actually contributes the gift, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime deal. People love it. It's a great, great, great thing, a great gift.
Tell our listeners how they can see that and examples of your other paintings.
www.jayybarra.com, and I also have www.theartlife.net.
It's just so lovely that on radio in the past, we could tell people about things but had no way to share that visual image with them, and now we can just give them a website, so that's fabulous.
It is. We're at an age in which we have the ability to express our art and show our art throughout the world almost instantaneously. And that's really, really cool, because if it helps inspires other artists and helps them face their fears to become the artist that's already within, that's just great.
July 4th weekend is not this weekend, but next weekend. And I know it's probably still going to be hot, but I like to remind everybody, Jay, that when you're right there next to their bay, there's almost always a good breeze.
Last year where I was stationed, I couldn't find where there wasn't a breeze. It was great. Excellent atmosphere. Everybody's in a good mood. They have great food. They had great music. It was just quite the show of shows. And I've done many, many art shows, and I felt like this was top tier level, easily. I'm very excited to be back.
About how many pieces are you taking? Do you have any idea?
I would probably take somewhere between 35 to 40 pieces.
That must be hard to prepare, to have that big
inventory. It is, but it's good to be inspired to do such work because, like I said, last year was such a great show. It felt very determined and targeted for this year, and I'm very much anticipating it.
Jay, it's just been a pleasure speaking with you. Have a beautiful show. I know everybody will love seeing your work. Give our listeners one more reminder of how they can go online to see examples of your work.
Okay, you can find me at www.jaybarra.com. That's JAYYBARRA.com.
I hope you have a fabulous show. I hope you sell out. I hope you go home empty-handed except for some money in your pocket. Okay, Jay, thanks so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You too. I've been speaking with Jay Ybarra. He's one of many very talented artists. They're going to be in Rockport for their 55th annual Art Fest. And of course, that's coming up July 4th weekend.